Well, good morning, folks. Welcome back. Happy Friday to you. I hope you're doing good. Hope you had a good finish to your week. Gonna wrap it up nice and steady today, and then have a weekend. Hopefully a good one. We got some storms blowing through here today, and tomorrow. I actually had to reschedule our 5K we were gonna run on Saturday, so that's a shame, but no worries. A little bit of extra relaxation is not a bad thing on the weekend. We'll take that, huh? And until then, you know what today is. Today is my favorite day of the week. Mainly because of this stream format, and then also because of the weekend, but primarily because, y'all, we're going to finish this map. We've been working on it for a hot minute now, and 2 streams? Well, 2.5, we'll call it. We had tech issues on one, so we worked a little extra on it on this past Monday. But we're pretty much there now. We're gonna name a few remaining settlements, maybe place 1 or 2 more. Look at the color, touch it up a bit, but man, realistically, I think it's kind of there, y'all. I think it's kind of there. So hey, welcome in. Thanks for joining, and let's finish up this map today, huh? Magnus, good morning, my friend. Cartographying it right now. Why is cartographying so hard to say? But yeah, that's the play. We're going to work on this map. Finish it up. Dodger, you like it? Thanks, my guy. I appreciate that. Welcome in. We do this every Friday, sometimes other days of the week as well. And today we're gonna finish it. So we need to name a whole lot of places here. We got a lot of stuff in here to name, and then I think I'm trying to think if there's anything else we said we wanted to work on, but I think it's looking pretty good. I'm trying to get the stuff that's out from behind my head. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're pretty darn good. Oh, we want to do roads. That's it. All right, let me make a note on that. I knew there was something. All right, so name settlements, finish roads. Done. That's it, man. That's all we got to do. Legend WWE, you said you might make your own fantasy story. Go for it. Absolutely. By all means. Would love to see it. That's part of the fun of this, you know? All right. Well, we were working on... So here's the thing. Y'all, if you see village names, or towns, cities, villages that need names, feel free to recommend names. We got a whole bunch we need to do. We got this village here, this town, this capital, this full-on city still needs a name. Anyway, if you see those places and you got a name recommendation, please hit me with it. In the meantime, I got to finish up these roads we were working on. You can see we got them up in here, these dotted paths. But we got a lot more map to road it up. Dodger, you said, is this for a book? So this one's for practice. I wanted to learn this parchment map style. I hadn't done that in the past. But my other maps have been in more of like this sort of style, which I think is also very nice and very fun. But I think this style looks a bit more appropriate for like a fantasy book, because I do tend to make them for my books. Ferryman's Rest. Ooh, I like that. So let's see. We have one near the water here, and then another one down here. So either one of those could work. Jonathan, good afternoon, my friend. Good to see you. Good morning from me, but good afternoon from you. Hope you're doing well. Millie, what did you say? I saw a chat from you and I didn't respond to it. Oh, well, I'm glad you had a good field trip. Rock on. Alright, Ferryman's Rest. Let's get that somewhere. So canonically, last stream we did say that this is a ferry point. That's why there's the dotted line through the water for silt water and silt cross. So they kind of go together. I'm going to do Ferryman's Rest down here, I think, in the swamp. I feel like in terms of ferrying around, this is a pretty active area to be doing it. My guy's going to earn his rest down here. All right, there you go. Ferryman's Rest has been added. Thank you for the suggestion. F1 Anime, what's up, my guy? Welcome back in. You excited for the race this weekend? Oh, Jonathan, you got Incarnate Pro. You said it's better than the regular. Rock on, man. I've been on the Pro version for so long. It was $25 for the year. I've been on it all year now. I honestly forget a little bit of what is locked behind the paywall. So I'm glad it's good for you. Maybe I need to stop saying the free version's quite as powerful as it is. Oh, Lucy, you're totally fine to ask. Yes, this is a map-making program we're using. It's Incarnate. I'll put it in both chats. Incarnate.com. It's an online map maker. Rafi, what's up, my guy? Good to see you. Okay, I was going to work on some roads here. So I think we need one from this town down to this capital. Like, that feels like this would honestly be a very popular road. So let's grab the line tool, make sure its settings are still correct. Nah, see, it's dashes. We want our dots. I think that's the correct spacing. Let's double check. Our spacing on this is a stroke size of 179. And our spacing 2.5. So 179, 2.5. All right, those are the settings. So let's draw a road. Sam, other map making programs out there, Wonder Draft is one that I'm aware of. Oh god, what's the other? There's one that's a little more generated that's super cool. Hold on, it's on Steam. Canvas of Kings. There we go. So Wonder Draft, and Canvas of Kings are two other ones that I'm aware of that are well recommended. We'll mess that line up. Dino, good to see you, my guy. Witch Hollow for the swamp? Okay, there's something in there, Crimson. Can we change Hollow? Because Hollow is typically for forests. I'm down for the witch vibes, especially with Halloween. You know, gotta rock the Halloween vibes today. As we get closer to the best holiday of the year. But if we could change Hollow to something, I feel like we could make that work. Something a little more swampy. Dodger, you said what's the difference between the dashed roads and the dotted roads? The dashes are actually country divisions. So that's marking, like, you know, geopolitical borders. And then the transparent dots are my roads. The dashes are just borders of different... I think we were calling them kingdoms. Alright, let's get this road going here. I feel like it would follow the coast for the most part. Well, I say that and then I pull it off the coast. We'll see what we think about this. How do we like that one? I think it's like fine, you know? Ooh, Witch Willow. Crimson, that's pretty good. Crimson, let me propose a slight change. What do we think about Well, it does require me being able to type correctly, and for you to see the name, and for it not to be blocked by trees. These trees are at the correct layer height, but they like to jump in front of the text for some reason. How do we like Willow Witch? I think that's pretty fun. It's just got a fun rhyme to it, too, Not rhyme, but like alliteration. Rex Fontaine, you noticed the Hochelaga? I'm sure I'm saying that wrong. That was another name requested by chat. You said there needs to be the... Boy, I think it might be French, and I can't say that. Pataterie? Tell me about that, Rex. What's going on there? Yeah, Rex. One of my viewers is was very interested in Native American settlements pre Western arrival. So he suggested that one, and I have since learned about that settlement. Sorry, I'm trying to find the opacity settings on these. They're definitely turned down, but it's not showing that it is. 45, there we go. Alright, so we need to turn these dotted lines down to an opacity of 45. Boom. And maybe group them together. I appreciate all the I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, Hochelaga lore in the chat. Thank you guys. I googled it briefly, and it is, found out it's in Montreal. Small neighborhood named after an old fort that was there, or fortified town. Legend, you're saying Mayflower Village? Mayflower Bay Village, for the village near the water. Are Mayflowers, I mean, obviously, like, the obvious thought with Mayflower is, like, coming across to America on the ship. I kind of want to avoid the name because of those connotations, but a variation of it would be very good. Does the body of water have a name? No, we haven't named any natural features in here, but except for, I guess we did name Birchbone Forest right here. But I'd love to name some more, so please feel free. Alright, so I'm happy with this road. Really, Raffi? I didn't know you live on the res. A-res. I didn't know that, dude. That's cool. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't know much about it. Other name wasn't available. Welcome in, my friend. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining, man. Hey, and congrats on the member level up. Oh, wow, and I noticed I missed some hearts that were sent. Yo, F1 Anime. Thank you for the hearts, my friend. And other name, thank you for the heart me. So, hold on. Other name, or F1, you sent 3 roses. These are for you. Other name, for the heart me. Thank you, y'all. Gift for a gift. So we have, ooh, Liz Wraithwood. That's fun. That's a fun name. Where did you want that? One of the forests, maybe? Can I add a Walmart? Alright, let's get a little... I want these roads here to kind of come out and off the map. There's nothing really down in this corner, so I don't really know where a road would go to it. There's nothing for it to go to. Whoa, what did I just do? I definitely just used a keyboard shortcut I was accidentally unaware of. Sung Moon, welcome in. Good to see you. Alright, Liz, if we're going to do Wraithwood, I want it to be an ominous forest. I feel like that's a pretty severe name, right? And this forest here is a little bit like chill. I don't think it's that haunted, Um, could be the name of the swamp down here, or there could be a more evil forest somewhere. Don't know where it would be on the map, though. Banacor Walmart. It's actually just a place where they sell walls. Alright, we need another road going here. Wraithwood Swamp. That could work. Could work. Y'all, I'll leave it open. If you want to iterate on the swamp name, feel free. Wraithwood's a good suggestion, a good start, I think. We'll hear a few competitors before making a final call, but I do like it. I feel like this road here is going out to Hochelaga. I really got to learn how to say that because I'm second guessing myself every time I say it. Dictionary, you got a pronunciation for me? No. Alright. I hate these videos, but YouTube, let's go.
Hochelaga.
Hochelaga is how it's said. At least that's what that video says. Chat, am I correct on that? Or is it lying to me? Hochelaga. Brownie, we're making this in inkcarnate.com. It's a wonderful tool. Online map maker. Someone asked where the swamp is. Sorry, y'all. It's behind my head. There we go. When I set the map to neutral, it just, the swamp is, I blocked the swamp completely, but there we go. It's right down in here. Legend, what are my top 5 fantasy books? Well, if we pop over to the main scene, I get that top shelf. I can't get my finger all the way up there; it gets cut off by the camera. But that top shelf is all my favorites. So basically, every book ever written by Joe Abercrombie, Jurassic Park, Thud by Terry Pratchett, Going Postal by Terry Pratchett, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'm a big fan of all those. I got a list, I got a whole list of fantasy books that I love. Dragonlance has been big in my head lately by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. Some old fantasy from back in the day. What about you, WWE? What's in your top list? Durag? Is that how you say it? Durag96. You said, yo, what's up? What's up, my guy? Welcome in. Happy Friday to you. You got good weekend plans lined up? Savvy, you said, have I read Fourth Wing yet? I have read Fourth Wing. Had to see what all the buzz was about. Gunfighter, you said, hey, Asmongold, and you have bumped my Asmongold counter up to 59. Thank you very much. Approaching 60. Yo, what are we going to do when we hit 100 on that? Maybe I'll finally get an animation. We can actually see it tick up, but it was tougher than I thought to kind of get that going. I thought I could just get a little animation, but I have not really found a way to do that just yet. Alright, let's finish this road out. Alright, so now that I'm looking at the distance between this capital here and this town here, and then Hochelaga, I feel like there should be something in between. That'd be a long, lonely road all the way out there. So maybe we got to stick another village in there. Yeah, alright, so I think Wraithwood Swamp works. It's kind of ominous, which isn't the worst thing in the world. And we use Inkcarnate to make this. It's an online map maker. Just go to inkcarnate.com. And thank you for the follows, everybody. I appreciate that. Very kind of you. All right, so now if we're gonna do this name here, Liz, we gotta put it somewhere, you know. So we're gonna start there. Naming locations is difficult because I've got kind of too many names going on here. But let's see if we can't find a solution to that. first of all, we're going to take away the curve on this. So I think what we said a while ago was villages, settlements will be curved, locations, features will not be curved. But I still think probably a lot of the names are too big. We're losing. We don't have enough space, to have them all in here. Oh, legend! How did I not mention Lord of the Rings? Absolutely one of my favorites of all time. Not on my top shelf because it's on my to-be-read pile because I am rereading it currently. Good call. So I'm thinking what we need to do. Let's look at the size of these village names. 24. That's kind of big. How about let's bump them down a little bit. 21 makes it a bit small. Well, it doesn't help that it's behind the trees. There we go. All right. Are we okay with that size, or is that too small? There's still more trees in the way. I don't know why I can't see that until I check my live preview. Alright, so like this would be the level of zoom you're looking at the map for. It's probably fine, right? Alright, so we're going to do 21 on less important settlements. So like this town, Hochelaga, there we go, Feldscarp, this town, this village, this, not hill, but town. We're going to bump those down to 21. This village, this town, this town. Uh-oh, something there's grouped. Oh no, it was a hill. That was the problem. This hill back here just really loves to get clicked instead of the town name. It likes to give me a little bit of trouble. 21. And then you two down to 21. Okay. I think that was all the lesser important ones. I should add a mountain legend. We got a nice big mountain right here. Whole bunch of mountains. You saying name it? Jack Ann, welcome in. Good to see you. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for tuning in. And Liz, thank you for the TGIF. Wow, I'm missing all the gifts. Sorry, Thorolf, thank you for the roses. And Liz, thank you for the TGIF. And TGIF indeed. Thorolf, you sent 2 roses. You get 2 goblins. Liz, special goblin for you. Y'all, those are yours now. Couple rules with them. Never feed them after midnight. You'll find out why. Hide all the matches in your house, and I apologize. Your house is never going to be clean again. They're very cute, but they're very messy. Alright, let's see if we can get this name in here. I was a little bit hesitant to put location names because we have so many settlements that are named. So we got to find a way to kind of work this in here that it's not, one, completely obscured by trees. These trees really like being on the wrong layer. I see we're getting the Cypress effect in chat. By putting a real name location in here, TikTok then pushes the stream out to people from that location. So yeah, someone recommended Hochelaga as a village name, and now we're getting the Montreal crowd. So welcome in, everybody. Skinny Jeans, welcome in. Good to see you. We are finishing this map today. How to do these names, though? We got two settlements, and then the swamp name. And you know what? I have the idea. Hold on, we got this. We're gonna take Ferryman's Rest here. We're gonna invert this curve. Then we're going to just move it down to the bottom. There we go. Now we're cooking, y'all. That's going to give me room up top to get this swamp name in here. Okay. It's kind of a lot going on down there. I also kind of want to signify the names of locations by changing up their font or the color of the font a little bit somehow. So let's think about that for a second. Time to chill. You said, will there be bridges connecting the separate islands across the river? I don't think. Okay, so actually, you're challenging my assumptions here, which I appreciate. My initial thought was typically swamps are underdeveloped regions. People don't like to live in swamps. There's not a lot of economic reason to live there, etc., etc., etc. So I was going to say, well, there's really no reason to build bridges across here. Plus, it's difficult to build in swamps. But, like I said, you're challenging my assumptions. Maybe this is an incredibly lucrative swamp. I don't know, maybe there's some very valuable freshwater clams here that people pay top dollar for. So, maybe there are bridges there. What do we think, chat? You want bridges or no? Alright, what can we do to make this font stand out? I'm thinking it's going to be a color thing, but I don't know. I just want it to look different than the city names. Hey, Sean. Good morning, my friend. Happy Friday to you, too. How you doing? Skinny Jeans, you said the swamp could be a nice place for adventurers to seek out rare herbs, poison sacks, etc., etc. Could work. Could work. Ferox, you said make it a swamp that has an extremely rich soils, or maybe specific minerals in the mud. Yeah, some sort of economic reason to be there. Legend, you said, do you have kings or presidents, or like what's the leadership here? I think what we went with is kingdoms, but we didn't develop any more lore, because this is really just a practice map. If we get into something like, like this big boy, which we got to get back to work on, and will get on to after we finish this today, this one is for an existing book. So, y'all, if it's your first time here, this is the world map for, hold on. Nope, that's the wrong book. Don't look at that one. I mean, look at it if you want, but for this one, there we go. That's my most recent book, Wriggly Little Hands. It's a comedy fantasy about a family of bumbling goblins on a road trip to retrieve the Dark Lord's doomsday weapon and help him defeat the forces of good. Except they're goblins, so as you can see, things are not going to go to plan. So if you want to check that out, it's linked in my bio. It's on Amazon. It's an audiobook. By all means, please check it out. It's my most recent, and I'm working on the sequel now, but this map is the world map for that. And this map is the region map where the story starts, and both of these we've made on stream in the past. So you can see this is my old style that I used to use, and I still like it. It's very colorful, very bright. But I think this works better for books, right? So I wanted to learn this style. That's why we're doing just a practice map, essentially. Oh boy, I'm going to mess this name up, but Hirwagasana 6760 over on Video App, you said boats. Boats would be a better way to get around the swamp. I agree. So maybe we just put some docks down there or something? I don't know. Quirky and everybody that's asking, we make this on inkcarnate.com. It is an online map maker. Andrew, you said, do you... What's up? Oh, Andrew Duque, what's up, my dude? Good morning to you. Happy Friday. You said, do you make more percentage profit on your books from one site versus another? I mean, yeah, there's different percentages for each of them. But for the main part, if I'm selling a book somewhere, I've accepted how much money I make from it. So it was a good decision. Like, I considered it, and it was worth it to me to sell it there. So anywhere I sell books, whatever's easiest for you, please go ahead and grab one. That's totally good in my book. Oh, I'm wobbling. My hand's not steady on the road to Hochelaga. The swamp looks isolated enough to allow some kind of friendly monster race to thrive. Frogmen to trade with? Hey, y'all, we're building this lore as we go, so you tell me. Ogie, I don't know the Path of Titans map. I've not looked at it. Sometimes we do look at maps on stream, so that could be a good idea. Sean, you said, do the goblins go to Cyprus? Not in my current book, but in future books, maybe. Considering, thanks to stream, Cyprus now exists in that world. So, hey, could be a future setting. I wouldn't be mad about it. Alright, I think we need another village on this route. So let's grab the village icon. Yo, we got to place another village down here. Where do we think it should go? Because this road that we're about to do from here to Hochelaga is just going to be way too long with nothing on it. So, like, maybe right here on the coast of the edge of the swamp. Could do something like there, I think. Legend Red Rising is a sci-fi book. But it's, nothing wrong with it. It's totally great. Sci-fi is a good genre as well. Just, I prefer fantasy. That's where my heart is. Yeah, I almost feel like I'm putting a few too many villages, settlements, on the edge of things. I think, you know what, guys? I feel like we need like a crossroads type thing. One like here, and then perhaps another one here. That almost feels more appropriate, I think. Because a lot of traffic between this village, this town, this capital, I feel like this is a good midpoint between them. Now let's draw the road. And hopefully we'll have a steady hand for it. Nope, that was not very steady. That was alright. That was alright. Legend, I'm glad you're enjoying the Red Rising books. They are pretty good. I've heard very good things. I've only read book 1, but I had fun with it for the most part. It's not fantasy, which is my main strike against it. That's my favorite genre, but I guess a little bit of sci-fi is okay here and there too. Ogie, yes, this is the paid version of Incarnate. Travelman's Rest, that's not a bad name. Alright, there's that one, and I feel like another one to here. Although, you know what? I kind of want to do something. Nah, that was fine. That was fine. Let's not get picky. I think that's a good little road there. Oh, Legend, not even a question. Expanded cut of Lord of the Rings, the director's extended edition, for sure. That's the only way I watch it these days. It's just so, there's so many extra details and scenes that I love. Oh, it's tad too symmetrical, you said, Skinny Jeans? Right down, like, what, the village placement or the roads themselves? What's a little bit too symmetrical? Jackhand. Vigivavigs? Vinvigivavigs. Love that clip. Incredible. If you aren't aware of what that joke is from, that probably just sounded insane. And if you are aware of the joke, well, it is insane. Bee's Knees, welcome in. We're making this on inkcarnate.com. I'll put the name in chat for you. Sorry guys, I missed some chat over on Video app. He said Ronaldo or Messi. I'm not a big soccer fan, but I appreciate Messi's attitude from what I've seen. The girl who judo flipped Percy. That is a heck of a name. You said, hi, I just joined. You've probably said it before, but what app are you using to make this? Inkcarnate.com. I'll put it in there for you. And welcome in, the girl who judo flipped Percy. It's quite a name. Is that a reference to something? Skinny Jeans, you think the village placement is too perfect. Well, we can change that up. I don't want it to look too... How about this? I think it looks a bit better if we put it down there. Let's get a new road between those two. I wanted this to kind of curve like that. There we go. Kind of digging that. Though interesting that it spaced those two dots really close together. There we go. We'll take that. Can you zoom out? Yes, I will absolutely zoom out for you. There we go. Yeah, bee's knees, totally. By all means. More than happy to answer questions. Ogie, you like dark fantasy? Nice. Have you read Joe Abercrombie then? Have we talked about that? Because I mean, he's kind of he is Lord Grimdark, as he likes to call himself. Crimson, you can suggest names if you want. Girl who judo flipped Percy. You said the name is from Percy Jackson. Okay, I guess I didn't read that far enough into the series. I don't remember that specific event. What book is it from? We still didn't come up with a solution for how to do these place names, how to make geography titles different than village ones. You know. Shino, you said, what's my favorite spot in the map? Boy, that's tough. Okay, so I'm from the Central Florida swamps. That's where I grew up. So that makes me want to be like down in here. I think it's like somewhere where the river's flowing pretty well, but there's also enough of the little islands mixed in would probably be like my instinctive favorite spot. But I've been really fascinated with deserts recently. So I think I'd love to be hanging out right here on the edge of this oasis. I think that would be really interesting. I think that'd be pretty cool, actually. So that's going to be my answer, just so I always answer swamp. Let's change it up a little bit, huh? I do like the idea of a different font for the geography names, which is a shame because I love the current font so much. But let's see, maybe we can get something. That's kind of fun. I just changed Birchbone here. I think maybe we make it a bit bigger. And if we keep it straight and just change the font and make it a bit bigger, so 27 on Alamindra is the name of the font. It's a cool name. All right, so boom, boom, and then 27. Hide these trees a bit, and I think maybe we need to spin this like this, kinda. 27 might be a bit big here. I think that works. That looks pretty cool, y'all. All right, what was the sizing on it? It was 25, so we'll drop Birchbone down to 25. All right, I like that. Thank you for the suggestion. What's the theme of the book? So this one is, I guess I should turn off the text. This is book linked in bio. That's typically for when I'm working on my map that is actually for the book. This map is practice. But the book that I am in outside, we're going to finish this today and move back to the regular map. The regular map is from this book, Wriggly Little Hands. It's my most recent book, and it's a fantasy comedy about goblins on a road trip, and all the important and wonderful ways they mess that up, because they're goblins. They're not going to do it right the first time or the second time or ever. But it's linked in my bio. It's an audiobook. It's an ebook. It's a paperback. Any format you want, please check it out. While this is a practice map, this is the world map for Wriggly Little Hands. We're still working on it. We'll get back to it after this. Thank you for asking. The girl who judo flipped Percy, you said your name is from specifically the Mark of Athena. Okay, from the Percy Jackson book. So that would I guess I didn't get that far in. I haven't been a long time since I've read them, but I've been wanting to do a reread. Maybe I'll have to do a reread, and I'll look for your name reference on the way through, huh? Sava, this is Incarnate. You're correct. Oh, how long did this map take me? I saw that question earlier. This is we're going to call this my third and a half stream on this, because technically we wanted to get it done in 3 streams, but we had tech issues on stream number 2, so I came back last Monday and did like an extra stream to make up for the tech issues. So we'll say it's 3 streams. The goal was 3 streams, and we're almost there, so let's keep it moving. We got to finish up these roads, and we got to name a few places. I'm going to put y'all, I'm going to put the name of towns a lot smaller. I think that's going to help differentiate them a little bit. So let me highlight all my towns. Or villages. Sorry, villages. Okay. There's all of them. We're going to say villages are at like 18 on font size. And then towns need to be a bit bigger on font size. Let's see, Feldscarp is a town. This unnamed one is a town. Mountain Town. And then no, not the hill. Y'all can't see that. This town right here and this hill, they don't play nice together. Every time I try to click there, the hill gets clicked instead of the town. All right, we're going to put town size at 20 for font, and then city size, we're going to put that at, yeah, it's already bigger, but like 25 maybe. All right, that's a good little differentiation. Felipe, Louise, welcome in. Good to see you. Hope you're having a good Friday. Thanks for joining. Girl who judo flipped Percy over on Video App, you said you got to run, but you're glad that we chatted. And if I reread the Percy Jackson series, it's truly great. Have a nice day and good luck with the map. Well, thank you. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. Thanks for tuning in. And hey, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central, we're always doing something fantasy book publishing related. So please, by all means, come on back. I'd love to have you again. All right. Felipe, we're using inkcarnate.com to make this. I just put it in chat for you because the name's a little weird. Thank you, Ogie. I appreciate you putting that in there as well. All right, we wanted to finish these roads. So I feel like there's a big empty wilderness here, right? Between, I mean, there's Silk Cross and this town here, but nothing in between. I'm okay with it being empty land. My question is, are there any roads or anything here? I mean, I guess not, right? There'd probably be some sort of road. Like, I think the lack of a settlement on this side of the river and forest is kind of why we didn't draw any roads there. So we'll think about that. We'll come on back to that one. Oh my god, get off my lawn, guy. That's amazing. You said, does the town that keeps getting confused with the hill have a name? If not, call it Hilton. That's really funny. I'm gonna do that. I love it. Don't come at me, Hilton. There we go. Oh, I see. Okay, so that's really funny, but it doesn't work with the Oasis at all. That's pretty funny, but it doesn't work with the Oasis. It's an incredible joke, though. Oh, yeah, there we go. Call it... There we go. I like that idea. You call it something that... So you get Hilton and use it as a name. Something Paris next to it. Something like Hilton Oasis, or... the Hilton name's just really pulling me out of the fantasy world, though, despite being very funny. I think it's got to be like something Oasis, right? Or something Rest. Reprieve, something like that. What do we think, guys? Throw suggestions in chat. We need like something Oasis, Rest, or Reprieve in here, something like that. Hey, the good guy, 890 over on Video App. What's up, my guy? You said Asmongold, but bald and better. Well, congratulations, the good guy. You just ticked the Asmongold counter up to 60. Thank you very much for that. We hit another milestone there, folks. 60 references on stream now. What's up, my guy? Welcome in. I wish I had the animation ready so we could actually watch it tick on up to a new one. You said make the village name, the town name, sound a little Middle Eastern. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the instinct, right? But I feel like there's more deserts in the world than that, so I don't want to just be that stereotypical with it. Hillasis? That's kind of funny. Combination of hill and oasis. Dracula, what's up? Welcome in. It's your time of year, huh? Happy Halloween. We gotta get the Halloween book vibes going here. Got a couple shirts I'll be wearing going forward. Sand Hill Oasis? Maybe. I don't know, guys. Nothing's really inspiring. I'm just gonna do Oasis for now. Y'all really in here with the joke names today. Name it Wonderwall. Oh, Fat Frog, I have plans for the Halloween stream. I have realized, if you've looked ahead at the calendar, Halloween falls on a Fantasy Map Friday. So we're working on something for that. Rich Guy McFat, welcome in, my guy. You said it's not far on from the body of water, so it could just be an inland lake of some sort. I like it being an oasis in the desert, though. It was specifically requested by chat to make an oasis, which, I mean, I guess an inland lake serves that purpose, something like that. Oh yeah, Noah, let me zoom out for you. I've been sitting here zoomed in too long. There's our full map. I'll move it up a little bit so my head's not blocking, or maybe I just lean out of the way, so I'm not blocking all of the swamp down there. Legend, I'm excited for Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, but I'm not. I'm reserving judgment until we see it. But as someone of from a Greek family, that would be fun. I hope they do a good job with it. This town name is just really eluding me. I got nothing. Nothing is inspiring joy on this. Alright, there's our Lord of the Rings reference. We can call it, until a better name is suggested, we'll call it Overhill Oasis. I like that. Got alliteration to it again, which you know I love. Thank you for the follows, by the way, everybody. You're too kind. If you don't know, I am author Alex Knight. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time. And when I'm not streaming, I'm writing. So if any of these books look interesting to you, please, by all means, they're linked in my bio. Go check them out. That's how I support myself. That is my full-time job. So I'd appreciate it if you'd give them a look. And feel no obligation to donate to stream or anything like that. If you want to support me, just check out a book. Maybe you can get a good read out of it as well. I appreciate y'all. All right, let's get some progress. We need 2 more town names down here. Or villages, I suppose. I feel like this one's got to be like Crossroad something or other, right? Something cross. What do we think? Good guy? Oh, good guy. I'm sorry. You had suggested Stillwater Oasis. I hadn't seen that until just now. My fault. Good name, though. I like it. I've used Stillwater in my books before, believe it or not. It's a good name. Burn Station, Glara, for this town name? What's the inspiration there? Oh, that's the wrong key binding. Burns Station. I do like Station. It's kind of got, I don't know, an unexpected vibe to it. You know what though? Hold on. If we're gonna do something like that, we need to break it into 2 because it's a little bit too big. So we'll copy it, put another one. Oh wow, Don't know why that was copied. Copy, paste, there we go. Invert our curve. Who's Burn? I want to know now. Alright, let's get this tree out the way. And this is a village, so we'll make sure that the font is correctly sized for it. Yes. And now let's group them together. There we go. All right, Burn Station. It exists. Now we just have to answer the question of who's Burn. What's my favorite Greek mythology story? Oh man, I don't know if I have a favorite really. It's been a while. Obviously, I'm always, the Cyclops is an important chapter in the Odyssey. I've always found that an interesting one. I really liked when I read through kind of the I had several books of Greek lore and myths and legends. I really liked the ones that dealt more with the Trojan War, so kind of the earlier part of the Odyssey or more in the Iliad. I don't know. That's kind of where I gravitated. It's been so long since I've read a lot of them though that I've forgotten a lot. What about you, Legend? You got one off the top? Ooh, interesting. Skinny Jeans said you can raise mountains drop shadow to make it look more misty. Let me take a look at that. I'm assuming that's in advanced settings. Doesn't look like it. I guess turn on shadow here. Okay, I guess that did it, right? Like this is no shadow, and then you could do it like this so that it casts a shadow on things behind it. It's kind of cool. Something to think about for future. What age groups are my books for? They're mainly for adults. That being said, Wriggly Little Hands, my newest, is very YA friendly. It's like totally clean, no cursing really. But they're all like kind of like Terry Pratchett. Is kind of what I go for. It's fun for adults, can be fun for kids too, except for maybe this one. This one's probably a little too intense for younger than like 13 maybe. It's a little bit graphic. You said turn on custom shadow and then layer options, I think is what I read. Lemmy, you said add the name Lucifinia. What's that inspired by? It's pretty cool sounding. Leisha, good to see you. How you doing? Ooh, Flussburg. I like that name, Crimson. You said for the town north of the capital. Some of this guy right here, Flussburg. All right, hey, you know what? Flussburg sparks joy. Let's do it. It's kind of fun. Flussburg. It's kind of hard to say. Right on the border there. The website we're using is inkcarnate.com. And then someone said, where was it? Where is it? I got to get this. Oh, man, chat, you're moving too quick, but I appreciate you. There it is. MT Priv 1. Have you ever been told you look like Asmongold if he was clean? 61 on the Asmongold counter, y'all. It's been a good day for the Asmongold references. We're really climbing. Thank you, everybody, for contributing to that. But now, welcome in, MT. I get that a lot. I find it quite funny. Coulter for the name of the town in the mountains. Could do that. Feels very mountainy, doesn't it? I like Lucifinia. I think that's a fun name, Lemmy. Tell me where to put it. Mom, Cozy Games, you said, I know it's fantasy, but all I can think about is how desert and mountains can't be so close. Yeah, they can. Totally. But desert and mountains, absolutely. Oh, hold on. Let me do this real quick. I like to open Google Maps as a reference, but then when I do, Google is like, hi, would you like to dox your location when you open Google Maps? So that should fix it. Where's my display capture? There we go. Check this out. Wow, Google Maps went slow on stream. Look at, we're here in the Atlas Mountains up here in North Africa. Absolutely desert mountains. That's a real thing. Mountains happen irregardless of climate. I know there's pictures of them in here. I guess we could just do this. There you go. I guess that's not very big. Hold on. I'm really failing to get pictures on screen here. There you go. You can have mountains like that. Mountains are geography. Desert is climate. So those two things are related, but can interplay in very cool ways. Wow, so many comments, y'all. Sorry if I'm missing them. I can't respond to them all. Oh, you're saying there's pine trees in the mountains? Like over here? Those are our dead trees in the birchbone forest. I see this one is over my title. WeWatcher, you said I'm new to Incarnate and I'm looking to make a map in your style. What style is this? So I used Parchment World, and I pulled everything from the Parchment World pack in order to do this one. Which is, this is the style I typically work in, which is Fantasy World, but I kind of want to move to more Parchment World style. So, you know, here's some of my past maps we've made on stream. They've been really fun. I love how much color you get in this. It's super vibrant, especially with the ocean and whatnot. But I'm really digging this one for book style, you know? Soto, you saw Cyprus. Yes, it's become something of an in-joke. My family's from Cyprus, so we had put it in as an Easter egg, and it was too obvious, and everybody immediately saw it. So we just leaned into it and said, you know what, we're gonna make actual Cyprus in this map. So yeah, Cyprus now exists in this fantasy world, and we're just gonna roll with it. And now that we've typed Cyprus in chat and mentioned it on stream, TikTok will start recommending this to all the Greeks out there, and they will come in mass. It's always how it goes. I love it. Ah, Soto, you're Greek as well. Where you in Greece or Cyprus? Both acceptable answers. All right, I'm gonna do that name that I was liking. I think that's how it was spelled. Kind of feels like it's got like Lucifer vibes to it, but it's a fantasy world, so for all we know, Christianity, not a thing here. Did I spell it right? Yeah, okay, I spelled it. I don't want to make it the capital city name, but we'll do it for this big town here on the river. Make a small German island. Alright, we gotta do some more roads. We've done, this whole half of the map's got its roads. We need to do some, there's still kind of a big blank space here, and I remember when I said it, when I made it, we said we liked the no man's land aspect here. It just feels wrong, though, to not have a path through here. Like, what people just, they're going along the coast down here, totally, and moving through here, but just nothing here? I feel like this is a big missed opportunity with just nothing here. The capital is Asmundvale. Incredible. Skinny, I'll play with the mountain settings later. I like that idea, but I want to finish this map by the end of stream today. So we got to name a few more places, connect some roads, and then what else? I made notes. That's kind of it. So we gotta do that. Then we gotta do this island up top. We've been holding off on that forever. So I would like to play with those settings. We'll do it on another map, because today my goal was to kind of finish this bad boy. So let's get some names going. Said make a bridge at Hochelaga, and make a road all the way to Silk Cross. Could do that. I kind of like that. Port Sanguis. Someone said to name it like Sanguine or something like that, and I said I wanted to make it a little more fantasy, and chat workshopped the name Port Sanguis. I think last stream, I think it was. That's really the only reason behind it. All right, let's finish out some names real quick. We need to name this little village. Y'all, I need names for a small village on the edge of a swamp. If anything jumps to mind, let me know. Perseus and the Gorgon's Head and Hercules' 12 Trials are some of your favorite Greek mythology legend. Solid stuff. Solid stuff. Hercules' Trials are interesting. Swamp, Dracula says. Just swamp. Swamp stew. Swamp village. Y'all really going for the swamp vibe, huh? Shrek's village. Swamp poo. My goodness. y'all clowning on the names today. Okay, Westwood. Westwood's kind of cool. I do like Tamerberg as well. Wetwood, says T-Mac. Okay, T-Mac. So I agree. Wetwood is a good name for it. But y'all, this is the internet, and we're on stream, and you know we're going to get clowned on that the entire time we're live. We call it that. So that leads me back towards Westwood, or perhaps... oh, Bluegill! Oh, Jackann, that's adorable. I'm sorry, Bluegill wins instantly. I used to catch bluegill fish off the dock growing up. Bluegill is amazing. Yeah, sorry, this is the town of Bluegill. Sorry, guys. Jackann nailed it with that one. God, there's so many little names in there. It's really too dense. Let's see if we can do something about it. That being said, there were a lot of good names suggested in chat, so we're gonna need more. So we'll see if we can't get them on other names, other places in here. Did I type this wrong? Did I type Bluegilly? Oh no, the L's hidden behind a tree. That's what it is. All right, Bluegill. I like that. Maybe turn the curve down a little bit too. That's adorable. I don't know why that's so cute to me, but I love the name of Bluegill. Thank you for the follows, everybody. I appreciate you. Probably getting me to 5,000, I think, today. So, hey, there's a milestone. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Y'all rock. Razman, this is for practice, this map. Typically, I make them for my books, though. So, like, this is a world map we're working on for one of my series. But this is the style I used to work in. I'm trying to work in a more parchment style now. We use Inkcarnate to make it in post. Inkcarnate.com. And if you're interested, I'm a full-time author. So these are my books that we're making maps for. And the world map I just showed just for this book right up here. We can pull it up a little bit bigger. Boom, there you go. It's my most recent book. It's a fantasy comedy where a bumbling family of goblins go on a road trip across the realm to retrieve the Dark Lord's doomsday weapon and help him defeat the forces of good. Except they're goblins, so they mess it up, and the more evil they try to be, the more good they end up being, and everything gets a little chaotic. If you're into goofy comedy, fantasy, check it out. Otherwise, here's the rest of my books. If something else is more to your taste, they're all linked in my bio. They're all audiobooks, they're ebooks, they're paperbacks. Please, give them a look. Check them out. Supports me, supports the stream, and I'd love for you to see if you enjoy the stories. Slindy, what's up, my guy? Welcome in. Happy Friday to you, buddy. Chris Dagger. Chris, isn't that from Dune? I think, right? Did I say it right? I don't think I said it. I don't know if I said it right. What software am I using? We're using Incarnate to make this. It's just a website. Just a really cool website. In post, all of my fantasy books, all of my audio books are on Audible. But if you if you just use the link in my bio, it'll link to all my books on Amazon, and you can just click to the audiobook version of them. Any fun facts about the mountains? I don't know. We're making up this lore as we go. So I encourage you guys to help me with the lore, since this is just a practice map. If you want, I got a fun fact from the world map here for the book. One of my favorite facts for this is this ocean used to end right here. And this is a wizard's experiment gone wrong that accidentally deleted a large portion of land and let the ocean flood in and fill it up. So there's a little bit of world lore for you. But this map is actually for my books that I'm working on. This one we're just practicing, so we're making up the lore as we go. Somewhat we were talking about. Okay, we got these all named. I think it's okay. It's kind of dense down in the swamp area. There's a lot of names going on down here. Maybe, you know what? It might look a bit better if we put Willow Witch's name on the other side. That might make things look a little more spaced out. Yeah, see, that's just a little better. And Ferryman's Rest, we can break that up, because it's a long name, right? So let's see if we can... I think spacing is something you got to think about when you're making a map like this. It does matter how things are... You don't want it to look too crowded in certain areas, you know? Alright, so we're going to do Ferryman's here. And then we'll copy-paste. And we'll invert this. And then we're going to put rest. And then when we're happy with their spacing, we're going to group them together. Like that. Night Sound, this, I didn't make the drawings. You asked, is this self-drawn? I didn't make the stamps or the art. I just put it all together using Incarnate, which is a wonderful website. Alright, and now we're going to get Wraithwood Swamp back in position. Make sure the trees are beneath it. And now let's zoom out. How do we like that? That looks a bit more spread out, right? There's also, you know, there's another way it could be done if we wanted. It could be something like this. I think that makes it look crowded again, though. What do we think? Does that make it look too crowded versus that? Because my thoughts are, if I put it right here, it's not central to the swamp, right? But if we put it down here, it's a little crowded. What do we think, chat? I guess it helps if you can actually see the name. Up top, you liked better? Alright, up top it is. Eventually. Alright, there we go. Alright, the swamp is good. Egg Fried Idiot, what a name. Incarnate is the software. Very funny. I love the name. Okay, now we need to do... I feel like I'm ready to move to the desert region with roads and stuff, but we have a few places to name around here. So we need to name this capital, y'all. Skinny Jeans, I know you've been pushing for Iron Cross for the kingdom in the south because of the two massive bridges. We'll put that on the list. What else you think, guys, for this big capital down here on a strip of islands? Dracula, you like Iron Cross? Oreo, I think it is. Oriao. You said Westridge. Turnumine. Is that like French or something? Chris Dagger, I could probably group all the trees together. Honestly, that would probably solve the issue. There's a reason. In the past, I've done that and then had issues with it, so I tend to just like solve the names one at a time by moving trees. But yeah, theoretically, if we were taking our time with it, we would group all the trees and move them correctly. The Grid Whisperer, welcome in, my friend, over on Video App, where I'm also live. Happy Friday to you. How you doing? Anchor Cross. Ooh, I like that, Ramen. I really like Anchor Cross. We're gonna put that in for a hot minute. All right, y'all. That's my favorite right now. If someone can beat Anchor Cross, take a shot. We'll see. But that's a strong. I've never heard of a name like that in fantasy. That's pretty cool. It's just, I don't know. It's something about it just strikes the right vibe for me. Yeah, and I think this needs to be one like this. And we're going to just make the curve more severe on it. Kind of get it centered. Oh, you know what? We should rotate it a bit. There we go. That's pretty sick. I'm a fan. Let's see. Competitors for Anchor Cross. Is Anchor Cross IRL Istanbul? I don't know. Maybe it's IRL Constantinople. Nah, I don't know. It doesn't. I think we kind of went with like a Venice inspiration for it, because if you move that, it's kind of just like a bunch of little islands that are all connected together. But you know what? I think Istanbul, Venice, some combination of those works pretty well for it. We're making this at inkcarnate.com. It is not a secret. You are more than encouraged to go check it out. It's a wonderful website. Alright, I think we've named everything at the bottom half of the map, y'all. We did it. We did it. We can move on from there. Jake Hartman over on Video App. Good to see you, buddy. Welcome in. Happy Friday to you. You got weekend plans? Got something good lined up? Archie... those are G's, right? I'm out of practice with my Greek. Achiggeas? Archigos? No, those are L's. What are you doing, Alex? Archelaus? Archelius? How do I say it? I've been neglecting my Greek learning lately. Alright, we got a debate. I think someone had said put an outpost here in this like no man's land vibe, which I kind of dig. I think something like that could be cool. There's already so many settlements in here, but it's not necessarily... I just feel like there's so much land that's unoccupied in here. Royal House over on Video App. You say, yay, I see map, I click watch. Welcome in, buddy. Glad to have you. Nicholas, there was just a guy in chat, somebody in chat with a Greek name, and I didn't know how to pronounce it. It was Achilleas. Oh, is that like Achilles in like Greek spelling? I'll put it in chat. It was like this. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's in chat. All right. Anyway, Luke, welcome back, man. Glad to have you. Thanks for stopping by. All right. I just feel like we really need to have something here in this no man's land, and the roads, even if they're faint, should come through here. It's just too much. I feel like people would travel across here, right? A campground. All right, well, let's grab a little village. We'll put it in here. I kind of like it right here on the edge of the wood. Ooh, that's actually really getting me excited. That's a cool idea for a setting, I think. Let's tuck it in here. And then we're going to get some roads going to it. The forest needs the Blair Witch Project house. I want this road to split off nicely from right here. Oh, come on, mouse, be smooth. That was close. That was close, but we can do better. Let's do it out from the village. That's okay. It's okay. I do like how it very much goes around the forest. It's like, we ain't going in there. Alright, and then it needs to run out. Oh, I'm going to put it between. See, I think it'd be really cool to go between those hills. But it makes it a little bit crowded, right? Also, it's not a good curve. We'll have to redo that. It looks a little bit crowded in there with all that. But I like it. I think that's the place it should go. Name it Thorn Point Station. That's kind of a cool name. We do already have a station on the map, but maybe station's something relevant in this world. Maybe there are places that are called station for some reason. We're making the lore as we go, y'all. So that is entirely possible. Alright, we're going to stop that road there because I like that curve. And it'll come from this side. There we go. Oh, I didn't do it far enough. I didn't connect the dots. There we go. I think that's pretty good. We like those roads. I feel like this curve looks out of place now. Gavin, we're not making any game along with this. This is practice because I typically make maps for the world my books are in. So this is going to be the world map for the current series. But I wanted to learn the parchment map style, so we're doing it in this color and well, style, I suppose. Well, thank you, Gavin. I'm glad you like it. Ooh, V1 Tumitopska. It's a heck of a name there. You said Wailing Woods. That is ominous. I like it, though. Crimson, I know you were suggesting Whispering Woods. Whispering, I feel like, is a little bit overused in fantasy. I think Wailing Woods is a nice change from that. That's ominous. I like that. Who asked the Green Moose? We're using Ink Carnet for this. Put it in both chats. Royal House, I am streaming on video app. It starts with a Y and ends with a tube, where you're watching at, and also TikTok. So same name on TikTok. It's linked in my bio for the site that you're on as well. I just can't say the website name, because TikTok gets mad at me. We're definitely calling this Wailing Wood, y'all. I'm sorry, but that's just too cool. Wailing Woods, or do we want like Wailing Wood as one word? I feel like the Wailing Wood is better as one word. It's a little, it has a little more character to it, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm seeing some chat saying one word as well. I like that, y'all. I'm glad you agree. Oh, there we go. I knew something was off. The trees, they're blocking my letters again. Ominous. I love that. Wailing Wood. Ugh. Gives me shivers, man. Thank you for the follows, by the way, everybody. You got me to 5,000 today. Appreciate you. Josh, is it the children that get lost in there that wail, or the trees? That's up to y'all to decide. Maybe there's no agreement in the mythos of the world. Other name, you said to me, as one word, it has history. Maybe it was originally Wailing Woods, but over time it changed. Yeah, I kind of like that, right? It gives it more character to call it Wailing Wood instead of like the Wailing Woods. Alright, we got some more names to do, y'all. I need names for village, and town. These three right here. For vibes, the only thing I really got is this town is in the mountains. We wanted this to be like our mountain retreat, like cool, larger settlement up in the mountains. Nova Reach, Arbo, you said? Nova Reach is cool, but Nova gives me like sci-fi vibes. I feel like it's more sci-fi adjacent, I suppose. Wilderness Peak. Copper Coast for the Mountain River Town. Could do something like that. Peak Hill, Sulphur's Peak, New Reach. A lot of suggestions. Spire Pine. Ooh, Jack Ann. Spire Pine. That's pretty cool. I'm a fan of that one, y'all. All right, that's good. That's the current one you have to dethrone. Spire Pine. Y'all, you guys are making me fall in love with this world so much, I might have to write a story set in it just because it's awesome. I'm really getting excited by this. Sin Summit, a gambling den? That's a cool suggestion, Josh. Spire Pine is very cool. Lycan's Cradle. My goodness, that's another good one. The Killing Copse, says Jake Hartman. That's a cool... I think that was in response to the Woods name, maybe? That's pretty cool. Or Copse. Is it pronounced Copse? It's one of those words that I always read, never pronounce. Lycanspire? Oh my god, Leisha. Y'all coming in with the good names. Freighton for the village. Okay. Moss Meadow. I do like Moss Meadow. I feel like Moss Meadow, though, meadows in my... And I could be wrong here, y'all. But meadows tend to occur within forests, right? Like, a meadow is relevant because it is... Because of the lack of forest. You know, there would be forest and then it's not, so it's a meadow. I don't know. What's the official definition of a meadow? Piece of grassland, especially one used for hay. So I guess the forest is kind of irrelevant. That's just my own perception, coloring it incorrectly. Serac, we made the map with inkcarnate.com. I'll put the name in chat for you. There we go. I'll put it on both places that I'm streaming. It's a wonderful website. Check it out. So Moss Meadow. I liked the name. Ogie, this is the free version of Incarnate good? I think it's very good. I used it for a while, but I've been on Pro for about a year now, so I do forget what most of the free features were. Prior to this year, I was on free and thought it was totally fine, but folks have been telling me there's less features on the free version now. You can at the very least try it out for free, and I mean, like I said, I was happy with it for a long time, but it's $5 a month or $25 for the year if you want to go to the Pro, which gives you higher resolution, more maps, etc., more assets, etc. Gablegate, says Dracula. That's a cool name. All right, I'm gonna call this. Gablegate works for this one for me. You had a space in there. All right, we're gonna do that split then. So the reason that I like Gablegate here, I feel like if we zoom out a little bit, Port Sanguis up here, I feel like in order to make it, it's very defensible, right? It's just got like 2 narrow strips of land and mountains in the middle that block it. I feel like they should fortify this little area and make it serve as kind of like a gate to the city, even though it's really far away. So that's why I think Gablegate works pretty well as a name. That's why that jumped out to me. Dracula, you said you win. You did get the name, so well done. Alright, is it the correct size? It is. So let's group it together. And there we go. Gablegate. Another village named. Thank you, y'all. Spire Pine the correct size? I think it is. Yes. Okay. And now we need a name for this village over here. On the water. This is a river. Cliffs on the far side. Smooth, nice coast on this side, in the shadow of the mountains, I suppose, at least at sunrise. Brookside's a pretty good name. Flussburg is a German word. I don't know what it means, Dracula, but someone suggested it. At least it feels German in origin, and it made me laugh, so I like it. Brandyville? It's nice, it's cute. Riverwake? Riverwake's nice. I do like Riverwake. That's gonna be the that's. I'm gonna write that down for the moment because that's kind of. I don't know. That's just, I don't know. It feels like it's got presence to it. Story. I like it. See if we can dethrone it. Yeah, people liking Riverwake. I'll give another moment here to see if we can beat it, but I think Riverwake is kind of winning out for me. Silent Ford, that's good. There's no ford. I mean, I guess there's a ford here. There's a bridge here. Maybe there was a ford at some point in time. I was going to say the river's too big to ford moving west, but right down here works. Modica, welcome in. Happy Friday to you. This is our Fantasy Map Friday stream where we make fantasy maps on stream. We are near done with this one, so we're just going through and naming a lot of places, and then we're going to finish some roads between everything. How did I color the mountains? So I painted them. You'll notice, like, see how the trees are actually kind of a greenish color in here? And then they turn gray in the mountains? That's because I just grabbed a paintbrush, and I grabbed a gray color. Let's see, I'll demonstrate. Like this, and I just painted the mountains with it. And then just carefully, like, I got a really small brush size, and I went in here and just painted inside the lines, essentially. Kind of gives them a little bit of a different color, as, you know, against, contrasted with these mountains over here. Oh, you know what, y'all? We also kind of need a name for these mountains, huh? If we're naming the forest, we named the swamp, the forest. We need a name for the mountains. And for this little town out here. So, y'all, get your creepy names. Get your creepy names out. This is a little village on the edge of Wailing Wood, which is a creepy place, we've decided. So give me your creepy names. I know I asked for 2 different names in there at the same time. Also, it feels like my desire for more roads wants to have a road that goes down here and crosses the river to Hochelaga. I'm not sure that's... I kind of want to push back against that instinct because, like, I want that road there, but I think constraints make things interesting, right? So you already have roads. You could go down here. This feels like a main vein of travel, and then it kind of goes this way. Having no road connecting here makes this more wildernessy. I don't know. What do we think? We make this at incarnate.com. Don't know who is the question asker. It's a wonderful online map maker. Jake Hartman, you said Flushing Pines. I believe that was for what became Riverwake. Sorry, I just saw that. Feel free to suggest a name for this village here, though, if you want. Dracula, you like the road idea? As in, you like the idea of a road going through here, or you like there not being one? Martin, call it the village north of Wailing Wood. The most literal name in the world. Name straight out of Fortnite? What, Wailing Wood? Hollow Nest? Hollow Nest got some vibe. People saying Pine Bark Mountains for the mountains. What was that? Elpel. We're using Incarnate to make this. It's an online map maker. I put the name in chat. Don't know. I am not gonna name it that. Try another suggestion though. Drogon's Talon for the mountains. Kind of dragony. Nothing wrong with that, but we'll see what else we got too. Lost Rin for the village. Ooh, I like that a lot. Leisha. We can rock with Lost Rin. If I can grab a village name that's... There we go. That's pretty cool. I didn't intend for this forest to be ominous. Y'all kind of manifested that onto it, but you know what? I'm here for it. I like spooky vibes. Halloween's fast approaching. We got to rock the Book Ghost shirt for Halloween coming. So you know what? Wailing Wood it is. I like it. It is spooky season. Mistwood Dale is another good one, Ogie. I quite like that. Alright, so I don't think we're going to add a road connecting here. I like this being kind of wilderness out here. Well, we can come back to that at some point, but I think for now, this side of the map's basically done. Well done, everybody. I don't think we're missing anything. Nothing's left unnamed. So now we cross the big river. And we go to the desert area. I don't know how to say that name. Cree Guifati over on Video App. You said, nice haircut. Thank you. Do you like it? I put a lot of work into it. I pay my stylist a lot of money to get it done. Make the lake in Wailing Wood a creepy swamp? So I would be inclined to agree if we didn't have this big old swamp down here. I don't want to overdo it. On some level, I almost love the idea of kind of two ideas here. One, the Wailing Wood is creepy and you don't want to go in there, and there's a creepy lake at its center. Or two, there's an absolutely beautiful scenic lake at its center, and maybe it's a really peaceful place once you make it through the horrors of Wailing Wood and whatever's in there. We're making up the lore as we go, so who knows? Alright, most things over here are named on the left side, the west side of the map. Wow, I think there's actually only one town left to name right up here on the north coast. What do we want to do? One more town to name, assuming we don't add any more, because it's kind of, you know, I feel like there's a little bit of blank space here. I don't want to do too many settlements, but I don't know. I feel like one more might be needed. Edge Star, all right. Lost Coast Town, Siren's Whisper. Ooh, y'all really got the creepy vibes going, huh? Siren's Whisper. That's kind of, for the moment, that's winning for me. The Jinn Lair, something like that. I almost feel like if it's Siren's Whisper, y'all, here's what I want to do. Let's flip this that way. Pull this down. I'd want rocks off of there. I'd want a bunch of little rocks and stuff, because sirens, you know, at least in Greek mythology, would famously lure you in to shipwreck you and then eat you, etc., etc. So I feel like what I would want is to make this a very rocky coast area. If I could see my cursor. There we go. And then we're going to make this a little bit bigger. And we're going to kind of just... Oh, that was too much. We're just going to cut into these a little bit to make them less nicely rounded. Yeah, the rocks definitely look too round. We're going to work on that. So when I try to make like rough land like this, I fill it in like that. And then we take the brush and you kind of cut it away. And the result is you get a decent shape of like islands and you know, rocky shore, etc. Something like that, maybe. You got to look at it at the zoom level when you're all the way out too. I like this. I think that's pretty good looking. Kelpia, we're making this on Incarnate. It is an online map maker. I will put the name in chat for you. Rakehell. Jakeman, that's pretty good. Rakehell Rocks. Man, that's such a good name. I kind of want to just put it there on the rocks as well. That's sick. I really like that. Clifton. The tins are everywhere. It's a good point. It's a good point, Baldy McBaldface. If it's Siren's Whisper, it should be an island just off the coast. So I'm debating, because there's a couple names here that I really like. I also think Raquel Rocks is really cool. But I don't know. Alright, chat, we're going to vote on it. Siren's Whisper. If you want Siren's Whisper, put 1 in the chat. If you want Raquel Rocks, put 2 in the chat. You guys let me know. Oh boy, that was like an instant tie. Alright, 2 taking the lead. 1, I'd say that's tied now. Oh man, this is kind of split. Siren's Whisper now in the lead. It was tough. We might have to... This is closer than I thought. Let's see. I'll show the whole map while we're voting. There you go. Here's our map as it stands. I'll try to lean out the way a little bit. We ended up calling the Oasis Overhill Oasis, but the name is up for debate as well. So I'm not sure. That poll was so close, y'all. Let me go back and look at it again. There's no clear winner there. That's a pretty darn close tie. Alright, so that's 1 in the lead. 2 goes for the tie. 1 takes the lead. Holds the lead. 2 makes a late comeback. Yeah, I think 1 still wins in the end, though. So I think Siren's Whisper is holding it. We'll see if we can use Raquel somewhere else, because I think it's a really cool name. Alright, so let's break this name into 2. I think it looks better when you do that. I don't like that it blocks the island, though. Blocks the islands. I don't know if I like that tilted like that. That's kind of weird. You know what we do then? If I want to maintain the view of those islands, we just do this. That'll work. All right, thank you for the help there, folks. That's looking pretty good. I think that was technically the last place. Epic Child, welcome in. Good to have you, man. Put the name above the water. If I put it above the water, though, it blocks these little islands, and I'd like those to be seen. I'd like folks to notice them. I'm going to make them a brown color, though. I want them to be the brown of the mountains that we used earlier, which is actually going to be more like this color. There we go. Let's make sure we didn't destroy our purple here on the edge for our border. There we go. Yeah, Jackie, and this map's kind of worming its way into my heart, huh? I really like how this turned out. Y'all have made incredible suggestions. Thank you very much. Thank you for the follows, for the suggestions, for the names. I'm loving how this is coming out. When do we leave to explore the world? Soon, I hope. I'm serious, y'all. This was supposed to be a practice map, but I'm liking it so much I might just have to write something in this world, because I want to go there now. All right, we got to get some roads over here on this side of the map, but before we do, I want to consider Overhill Oasis as a name. We are opening Overhill Oasis up to other names. I would like to keep it somehow having Oasis, Rest, Reprieve, stuff like that in the name, but feel free to suggest things with a more deserty vibe to them. And we'll take some names there. Where was that comment? Holme, you said, where can I buy Wriggly Little Hands? If you don't know, folks, this is my most recent book, Wriggly Little Hands. That's what Holme is asking about. There's a link in my bio, so you can grab it on Amazon or Audible. You can order it through barnesandnoble.com. Or if you want a signed copy, you can even order it through my local bookstore. They'll ship it to you. But the rest all linked in my bio. So if you want to read a fantasy comedy about goblins trying to serve the Dark Lord and messing up at every opportunity, check it out. Ooh, big man, Sunwake Oasis. I like that. That's pretty cool, man. Sun Wake Oasis. Rock on. I'm a fan of that one. Let's give it a more severe curve here. No, not the hill. The hill that always gets moved when I don't want it to. Alright, there we go. Sun Wake Oasis. I love that. Oh, Jerry Berry. I like that. Rakehell Barrens for the desert. That's pretty cool. You know what I'm going to do, though? I'm going to do it for the mountains. We're going to call these mountains the Rakehell. Rakehell Mountains? Rakehell Barrens? Something like that. I really like that. Let's grab our place name here. Rakehell Ridge. That kind of works, though it feels a little bit small. You know, it's the whole mountain chain, not just a ridge line. How do I get this name in here without covering up our little cave that we hid in there? It's hard to place names on a map, y'all. I guess we could do it kind of like this and then put it in here. There we go. I like that a bit better. How do we like that? Finkick, you said I look like the bald version of Asmongold. Well, chat, you know what that means. Roll the counter up. Asmongold counter goes up to 62. That's 5 references today, man. We're climbing. Invest in the Asmongold references, y'all, because they are going up. No, I do get that a lot. It's funny. I never thought about it. It literally never occurred to me until I started streaming. Everybody started mentioning it. I'm like, all right. Yeah, I see it. I see it. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right, here. How's this name? How's this look for the name placement? Well, when it's above the mountain. How do we like? I think that's pretty good. Brandon McFadden, you said entrance to the Underdark out in the middle of the desert. Yeah, we got a little cave going on there. Folks wanted a cave, so we threw one in. Alright, so the feature name is already larger than other font. Yeah, it's a 25, so it's actually the largest font name that font size that I have. There's an argument for it to go bigger, though. So the nameless island on the north is going to be the last thing we do today. So we got to get to that in a minute. I've been saying we're going to finish that as the last thing on the map, so we're just about ready for it. Holy cow, chat. Was that... What just happened? I just had like 30 messages coming at once. I don't know if that was a glitch and like chat got delayed for a minute or something, but... whoof. Salt Lake Triboner, you say... Tribiner? You say you see Andrew Luck in me as well. So when I had hair, Andrew Luck was what everybody said I looked like. Who everybody said I looked like. And then when the hair fell out, I stopped getting that. So good eye. Props to you. Andrew Luck's a cool dude, too. He's a big reader, by the way. Alright, so we need some villages out in this desert area. I'm not even sure. I mean, they're all towns. Honestly. Like, if we look at our icons, Salt Ward is a town. Feldscarp is a town. Siltwater is a town. Sunwake Oasis is a town. Siren's Whisper is the only one that's a village. I think we need to change at least one of those to a village, and then we need to drop another village, like somewhere out here, just because there's just nothing going on. You know? Oh, it's frozen for y'all? Is it fixed now, or are we still frozen? This keeps happening. I guess I need to look into that. I thought I had it resolved. Still frozen. It's okay. It's a good shot of me. Interesting. All right, then I'll make a note to look into that again after stream. Is it back now? It tends to recover after a minute. Let me know, y'all. No, still not back. All right, let's mess with the camera for a minute. Nope, still frozen. Oh boy, that's a hard freeze. Yeah, if I restart it, Vixie, I'll lose like the whole viewership. It tends to fix itself in a moment, but if it doesn't seem to be doing it, I'll have to look into that after stream. I apologize, folks. Okay, we're back. All right. I will try to resolve that. We've had a couple issues with it lately. Thank you, everybody, for telling me I'm back. Appreciate that. Thank you, Aaron. Let's do a few more things here, hopefully before the next big freeze comes in. And then I'll try to fix that after stream. Dracula, phew, we missed you. Okay, we need to decide where we gotta change one of these three to a village. Siltwater, Feldscarp, or Saltwarren. I feel like of all of them, Saltwarren would be the one that's most remote, you know? And could be a village. Hey, chat, you're gonna vote on it. Number 1 is Siltwater. Number 2 is Feldscarp. Number 3 is Saltwarren. One of these three towns is getting downgraded to a village. Put 1s in chat for Siltwater, 2s in chat for Feldscarp, and 3s in chat for Saltwarren. Vote which one you want to get demoted to village status. I'm seeing 3s at the moment. Oh boy, everybody's going, holy cow, it is almost unanimously 3. I'll give it another second, but oh, there's the first vote for number 1. A couple votes for 2, mostly for 3 still. I think that was pretty unanimous. Alright, sorry Saltwarren. Saltwarren, you're going down to village status. There we go. Poor Saltwarren. Just know y'all made me do this. This is entirely your doing, and if the people of Saltwarren are mad about what's happening, I'm going to point them at you, chat. It's entirely on you. I didn't suggest the idea at all. What are you talking about? Alright, let's make sure the font size is correct. Yeah, 18. So we need an 18 on font size here, which it is. Great, let's group it up. Broken Mary, we are using Ink Carnet to make this. Drought killed the town. Yeah, you can say something like that. I mean, it is a pretty inhospitable environment down there, so that works. Okay, oh, thank you, user. How did you know about that? User 93737382837. I feel like you've been here before, right? I remember all those 3 7s in your name. You said, congrats on my book being on the shelf at Brazos Bookstore. Thank you. I'm pretty happy to have it there. They're doing a goblin market coming up on the 27th for Halloween. And I couldn't imagine a more appropriate book to have there than my book about goblins. So if you're in Houston, I highly recommend you check out the Brazos Bookstore. Oldest independent bookstore in Houston. Lovely place. I love their selection of books. And not just because Wriggly Little Hands is among them. So yeah, if you're not in Houston, you can get it online. Links in my bio. It's on Amazon and Audible, all those good places. Feel free to check it out. Epic, yeah, you could buy my books in Canada as well through Amazon.ca. And Barnes & Noble will also ship, I believe. Alright, y'all, we're doing one more village in here. I feel like we need another village in the desert. Honestly, maybe even 2 more, but we're going to cap it at 1. Oh, thank you. Good eye on Saltwarren being covered by the rocks. I'm just going to do that. Easier fix. Boom, there we go. Good eye, whoever spotted that. Who was that? Jasmijin, I think it was. Thank you for that. I guess the desert does kind of need a name. Where do we want this village to go, though? I feel like just looking at this spatially, you know, we've got the edges kind of done with these three and then these two. Then we've got one in the middle. I think we need another like middle one, kind of like here maybe. Especially if we're going to put roads through here. I kind of like it just chilling out here. Kind of a triangle here. So let's do some roads between them. Oh, that's the wrong loadout. We need this. The wrong setting. Alright, so that's a decent road, but it's way too straight. It's bothering me. I know I think it should like wrap around the oasis. And then between... Oh, I got unsteady with my roads. It's hard to drag a straight line for so long. Or a smooth line, you know? Around the oasis. And then like that. I kind of like it, but it gets a little bit too wavy maybe. I don't know. What do we think? Solaris Waste, says Leisha, for the desert. That's pretty good. Justin Tripp, the app is Incarnate. We're using to make this. It is an online map maker. Alright, I like that road. I don't know why it's so curvy. It probably should be a little more straight, but the curves look better than just a straight line, you know? Here, I'm going to just do one extra attempt at it. We're going to move this one for the moment. We're going to keep it. I'm going to do one more attempt. I liked the around the oasis. Just wondering if it, you know, something a little more straight like that might be better. Still, there's no reason for it to curve like that. Alright, we'll put the old road back. I think what we could do is just grab another one of these little dunes. And we're going to pop another dune in, like right in here. So that the road is clearly going between them. That's what's going on there. There we go. So now... we need a name for this, by the way. So, y'all, if you got a village name for our very desert village, throw that in here. And I'm going to start connecting these bad boys with roads. Kind of like that. I feel like it would split off and go to Siltwater. That was not a nice line. Cool, says Dracula. That's an interesting name. K-U-H-L. Kind of ironically funny because it wouldn't be very cool there. Sand City, says Sam the Man. Hey, it's very literal, right? But it's not wrong. It doesn't seem like the most logical place for a village, but I don't know. I feel like we need something there. It's too empty otherwise, and I want there to be some sort of connection between the top and the middle and bottom of this area. Fernie, we're making this an Incarnate. Jake Hartman says No Man's Land. You can play on No Man's Land. Dune's Rest. Ooh, Dune's Rest is pretty good. Hold on, we're gonna put that there for now. If anybody can unseat Dune's Rest. Now, do we want it to be Dune's Possessive Rest or Dune's Plural Rest? You could even do, like, if you want, we've been doing a lot of combining words. Could even do Dune Rest. I don't like how that looks. So Dune Rest, Dune's Rest, or Dune Possessive Rest. Seeing chat, we're getting a lot of plural. For Dune's Rest. There we go. I feel like we need to bring some more sand dunes down there if that's what we're doing. That's what we're dooning. I don't know why this one's upside down. Maybe some smaller ones down there. Do you want to see the whole map, Joe? Here you go. There's our whole map as it stands now. Scratch, we make this on inkcarnate.com. I'll put it in chat for you. Just without the .com because it'll get blocked. Jake Hartman, hi, I'm Derek Toon, and this is my rest. This is my crib. Helios's wall. That's kind of cool, skinny jeans. Like Helios and like Helios. Sun. Makes sense for the desert. Alright, we gotta connect it though with a road. Sunwake Oasis is so out of the way. It'd be weird to have kind of a road between these two. But I don't know. I want them to be connected. I don't think you'd really go straight from Siren. I guess if you were going from Sirens, you're trying to get to the capital, right? From Siren's Whisper. Ideally, you'd probably sail and then go across land. But if you're going overland, I guess you got to go through here. Kind of like that. And then I think these really should be connected this between Sunwake and Dune's Rest as well. Yeah, I love that. It goes beneath the mountain. That's what I wanted to happen. Alright, those kind of work. They're very wavy in there, aren't they? I kind of like that, though. It does feel like we need something else over here. Well, let's before we nitpick that, I think there's definitely got to be a road that goes from Stillwater to Solarieth. That just makes sense to me. I feel like that would be there. And then we probably need one here and then down to there. Maybe a skull and bones in the middle of the path because it's uninhabitable. I could see that. Oh, that's the wrong one again. I want this one. Dotted line, not dashed line. Kind of like this, and then whoop. And then whoop. Down to Salt Warren. Alright, come on now. I have an idea that I want for this road, and I'm not quite executing it. Like this, and then I want it to go beneath that mountain, and then come back up there. There we go. It's still a bit off, maybe. Roshan, no, you're totally welcome to ask. Thank you for asking. I am a full-time author. So the stream is something I do on the side. It's fun. I like to chat with people. I like to answer questions. I like to fail to draw roads as I'm doing now. But no, my full-time job is being an author. So that's what I do most of the day. That's what I'll be doing after I get off stream here in a minute. Fridays always go a bit long because we're making fantasy maps and it's fun. But yes, this is my full-time job. So if you want to support the stream or me, or you just want to maybe give a book a read, feel free to check them out. If you got any questions about them, ask. I'm happy to answer. But they're all linked in my bio, so if you want to pick them up as paperbacks or audiobooks, ebooks, etc., they are all linked in my bio. Thank you for asking. Alright, so y'all, I'm seeing a little bit of an issue here. I think there's just too many like roads out here. Like, there's just a little bit too much going on. And it's mainly this triangle, I think, that's giving me issues. But the triangle just is so logical, right? I mean, people would want to get from Siltwater to the capital. They'd want to get from Dunes Rest to the capital. And they'd want to get from Dunes Rest to Siltwater. It just makes sense to be there. Jake Hartman on Video App, you said, Alex's full-time job is fantasy cartographer. He just writes books as a cover. Yeah, that's accurate. I like that idea, Alicia. Maybe a T instead of a triangle. So kind of like Dunes Rest, it goes to like here, and yeah, that's gonna be a good idea. I like that. All right, hold on. We're gonna do that. So you're gonna have one road coming out of Dunes Rest, and then it splits to Siltwater, and it also splits to the capital. Yeah, that makes more sense. I quite like that. AD.RHMT asked, what are we using to create this? We are using Incarnate as an online map maker that I have far too much fun with. Why is this road not going to Siltwater? Did I do something wrong with it? Let's see if we can't fix that. There we go. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Thank you, Alicia. I think it was that suggested the T. Alicia T suggested the T. That looks much better to me. And maybe we have some sort of feature here in the terrain that it's splitting around. Maybe a hill or something? A particularly pointy looking hill. Not a full mountain, but... Why are my hills all like upside down? When did I make them upside down? I kind of like that. Though it's a little bit... Let's compare it to other hills. Stamp size. It's a little bit big. Let's see. These are stamp size 150. So yeah, it's about right. I kind of like that. You said put a dead tree, a big dead tree in there? I don't... It kind of changes the environment, though. Maybe it could use some of the cactuses. There we go. Alright, that looks much better road-wise. Thank you for the suggestion there. I like that. Okay, I think all that's left is this northern island, which is the last thing we said we were going to do. Let me check my note. We have named the settlements. We have finished the roads. We just got to do the island now. Y'all, map's looking great. Thank you for all the input. The cacti on the left look like people dancing. You're talking about these two right here? Yeah, they sure do, don't they? It's kind of fun. I like it. Thank you for the follows, everybody. I appreciate you. Got me over 5,000 today, so thank you. Big milestone there. I'm very happy about that. Uh-oh, I'm out of water. Time's running out now, folks. All this talk about desert's making me thirsty. Rock on. Map's looking great, everybody. All right, let's finish this little island up here. This was the last thing. We said we were going to do it last. So what do we got? What kind of vibes we thinking here, y'all? I don't really know. I'm a total blank everything for it. I see a lot of names coming in, but like, what's the vibe? Like, what's going on with this island? Let's see. It's got desert on one side, right? We got desert on the west. We have this more temperate land to the east. It's kind of in between the two. Island could be a massive trading hub. Could kind of, I mean, it would make sense. It is in the end of this river, here, so you could easily set sail from here to the relevant hubs along the river, go further upriver, or you could go around the coast. So it makes sense to have something there. Now, Port Sanguis would probably take most of that trade because it's already a big city that's there. Swampy Island. We got it. We're pretty good on the swamps with this whole big area down here, Wraithwood Swamp. I don't know if we want to do another swamp. Massive university to learn magic. I'm always a fan of that. Always a fan of that. In fact, I've just written a university into the world of Wriggly Little Hands, so I'm super excited about that because, y'all, this is the book that you've seen, right? Wriggly Little Hands, I keep telling you about. If you're interested in trying it, but you're not sure you want to buy the full book, well, I created a prequel to it. Shorter. It's only about 76 paperback pages, 17,000 words. If you want to try that, it's 99 cents on Amazon. It's a prequel to Wriggly Little Hands. Or if you join my Discord or my newsletter, both are linked in my bio, you'll get it for free. I'll drop the Discord link real quick. There we go. Let me... Oh, that's paste, not copy. There we go. Dropping that in chat. So this... anyway, the reason I brought this up, it takes place at Warwick College for Wizardry, Werebeastery, and Welding. And it is a prequel to Wriggly Little Hands. Please, if you're interested in it, like I said, join my Discord or sign up for my newsletter. You'll get it for free. Or you can get it for 99 cents on Amazon. And if it seems like something you like, if you enjoy it, you can continue on to the full novel, Wriggly Little Hands. Zane, the map is for practice, mainly. At least that was the idea. It was supposed to be for practice, but we've had so much fun with it. I'm really kind of falling in love with this world. I might just have to write a story in this world now, because chat's done such a good job suggesting place names and coastlines and climate and whatnot that I don't know, I'm falling in love with it. I kind of need to write something here now. Vanish Island, good name, something like that. Shroud Stand. Skinny Jeans, it could be an island contested between both kingdoms, making it war-torn and gritty. Yeah, it could be something like that. I don't love war-torn and gritty. I'm moving away from dark fantasy these days, but the idea of a contested island I could get behind. Thank you for the roses and the heart me, by the way. Mojio for the heart me and Nekhoon Pie for the roses. Thank you, guys. Hey, we got a tradition around here. If you give a gift, you get a gift. So, one of these for each of y'all. Thank you very much. Congrats on your goblins you've just adopted. And I apologize for all the fires they'll start in your house. They have a penchant for arson. Alright, let's see. First thing we got to do for this island, we're going to cut away a little bit of the land, because it's underneath the key, and I really had a hard time finding a place to put the key on the map. And the island was in the way, so we're gonna move it back from that a little bit. I don't know what shape it's gonna be, so let's start with the shape. I don't want it to look like it was intentionally moved away from the key, but it definitely was. Ooh, Skinny Jeans. Maybe some kind of volcano stamp in the middle and have a theme based around that. Okay. I guess there's no volcano on the map, and we almost always put volcanoes, so hold on. Let's see if we can't grab some big, ominous volcano to put up there, huh? I do not mind that idea at all. Looks like an upside-down seahorse at the moment. Yeah, it does. That's very much not my intention. I'm going to go ahead and just make the island around the volcano. Let's see. The volcano should probably be flipped, because winds tend to travel from offshore to onshore. I mean, it depends on climate, but I think that's a reasonable thing to think. So I don't think the smoke trailing out of it would be going to the east, you know? I think it would be going west. So let's do that. And let's add some land in around it. And we need to rough up the coastline a little bit. Kind of like that, maybe? I don't know. I'm not loving that shape. It's certainly something. It's a start, right? Blaze, you're loving the map? Thank you, my man. Welcome in and good to see you. I think we're almost done with it. We just need to finish this island. Maybe put a settlement on it. But we gotta finish this bad boy up. Igneous. That's an interesting name. I think I want it to not connect to the mainland here. I actually love the idea of extending this land out a little bit, and then we're going to come through and we're going to make it a straight, right? So we want a nice, sharp, kind of like Gibraltar-esque vibe in there. Could be kind of sick. And I'm going to make the coast relatively smooth on both sides because I want to signify deep, fast-moving water in there. I kind of like that. Someone said the island looks like a roughed up chicken. I see it now with the beak here. Yeah, okay, I can kind of see that. Blaze Gaming, you mentioned Canvas of Kings on Steam. Yes, it's an awesome looking map maker. I want to play around with it. I haven't done it yet. I think it could be really cool. All right, I'm gonna knock the beak off this chicken because it does make it look too much like a chicken. An upside down bird. All right, so if we got the volcano here, I'm gonna put it like that. Let's get a little bit further away from the key. I don't want it to be messing with the key too much. And we need to add a little bit of land right at the edge of this mountain. Why is it shaped like Africa? I did not mean to do that, but you're right. It does look like a stretched out Africa, huh? An exaggerated Africa. I'm kind of digging that shape, though. Oh, I need to give it a color, too. It would technically, I mean, I assume it would be deserty on this side because it's next to desert. And this is more of a temperate land down here, but I don't know if that's going to continue into the island. So for the moment, let's make it all deserty. And then we're going to paint some other stuff in here. So what other... I think the volcano looked really cool when it had this kind of brown color to it. Let's get that back in there. Maybe even something... Can we get even a little bit darker? Oh, hold on. We can do a little bit of kind of a black color in there. Uh, 2J, you said how to make a map look like this? Well, I use inkcarnate.com, and then we are using the Parchment World asset pack. Y'all, I'm liking this mix of black and brown in here on the volcano. Let's get a little more black in there. And then a little more brown down around the bottom. Do we have... Is that maybe the color of the island? Maybe deserty on one side, but more of this brown on the other. I kind of dig that, y'all. Or, you know, volcanoes make very rich soil, right? It could be kind of like a Hawaii vibe. Where it's got the big volcano and then just really lush forest on it. I'm kind of digging that vibe, y'all. Say that the volcano is producing very rich soil that's growing a lot of stuff, a lot of trees. I'm digging that. So if we're going to do that, it needs to be kind of greenish in color. Let's see how we like that. We could do desert, you know, a little bit on one side, maybe. But we need to put some trees in here. I do like a little bit. Where'd my palm trees go? Here, let's grab some palm trees. I feel like we could get some palm trees going on in here. And then we're going to make a kind of dense forest as well. So palm trees more on the sandy area. And then we're going to put some trees in here. Jackie-Ann, you like this place the best so far? Rock on. I'm digging it too, honestly. Alright, we're going to go back to doing my favorite trick with trees. We're going to put multiple at once. And let's see our radius for it. And do a bigger area. And a good density on it. So we'll refine these individually, but I love how this can place multiple at once. It creates a true randomness that I really like. I'm not sure those are the right type of trees, though. Let's look at our tree types that we got going on here. I'll pop over to this view for y'all. There you go. So you can see what I'm working with now. Let's see what we got for trees. Really, the best is going to be just these right in here. Not going to want pine. That's more of a cold environment. These are just trees, you know. So I think our options are really... We're not going to have willows. So I think it's just generally the general trees and then pines. So, or palms, I guess. Why am I saying pines? So let's do those, I guess. I'm also going to paint this smoke real quick. Let's get a nice black, dark color for the smoke. Brush size of like 6, maybe. I think the opacity is a little bit high there. Change it real quick, get a lower opacity, grab our black, and then we're gonna paint it in here. Ooh, a slight red glow in the bottom portion. Yeah, that's sick. I love that idea. And then we're gonna make this smoke more transparent as it goes out. Well, I said that, and then I made it the opposite of that. I think it's kind of good like that. Alright, let's get a real low opacity, because I just want a little bit kind of on the edge of it. And now back to foreground, and we'll put a little in there. There we go. Alright, I like that as the smoke. Now we need to change the color of the mountain, because I messed with that. The mountain was this brown color. Brown-black is what we were going with. So let's get that back in here a bit. There we go. And now I want to mix a little bit of low opacity black in here, just to kind of hint at that volcanic soil, kind of maybe ash coming down. And then the rest of the island I want to be a vibrant green color. We can only get so vibrant in the parchment world. You know, the map pack is intentionally a little muted, so you're not going to get colors like, you know, we get this beautiful dark green over here, or this really nice red. That's going to be in the fantasy world pack. Parchment world's all a little bit muted. But we make it work. Alright, and now I wanted to do that red color real quick at the bottom, just a glow. There's not a lot of good reds in here. Like I said, it doesn't get too vibrant. Maybe this dark red. Maybe if we got real small with a decent opacity on the foreground, we could get a little bit of this red in here. This is being a bit pedantic, but I think some of this red glow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the red in there like that, and then we're going to color over it with black again so that it's almost like it's shining through. With a low opacity, large brush. Maybe like an 8 on the brush, and we're going to just kind of cover up a little bit of the red. Little detail, but it's just not glowing too much. I kind of like it. I kind of like it, though. I don't know. What do we think, chat? It's going to be hard to make it look like it's erupting. That'd be some advanced level incarnate that I'm not sure I am equipped for. I do like having the red around here, though, with the black on top. There we go. That looks kind of mean and angry in there. Some red on the volcano itself. Maybe. That might work. Like a 6 on the brush, maybe, and just get some red around here, and then we're going to cover it up again. It's a nice layering when you do this. Yeah, see, I like that. And now we're going to put just the slightest, lowest opacity brown on top of that, just to blend it in a bit better. I'm a fan. I like that, y'all. When we zoom out, that's looking pretty good. Here's the full map. We haven't seen it in a minute. I like that volcano up there. Bealtaine Crag for the volcano name, suggests Crimson Rose. Could be. Glara, over on Video App, you said you went to a meeting and came back to a sudden volcanic island. Yep. Yeah, we got a little bit of that going on. Someone suggested some yellow in there. I don't really have anything that's yellow that's not going to look deserty. The colors are relatively limited, like I said, in Parchment World. To make it all look good, look like it meshes together. Anime, we are using Ink Carnate to make this. Slendy, I can create a custom color, but bro, it looks bad when I try to do it. It's so stark. I tend to stick to the colors provided by the map pack. I think I wanna work on. I think the volcano's good. Let's let that be for a minute. I want to grab some of these willow trees. I think that they might look nice interspersed in this forest, since this is truly like a rainforest vibe we were going for. I think just a few of them in there, scattered through, could look pretty good. Come on, tree, where you at? There it is. Just I want it to be a little bit visible in there. I'd really still like this green to be even greener, but I'm not really sure how to do that. I guess I could make a custom color like we said, but there are downsides to it. I do like the look of this island, though. This place is kind of rocking. You know what we could look at? Do we have bushes as an option? I mean, I know we do, but let's just see what we got for foliage. Not much. Parchment World is a little more limited than Fantasy World, which is why I tend to do Fantasy World. Let's see what we can get here, though. Yeah, I'm surprised there's not more foliage here. Oh well. We make do with what we got. Sometimes limited is good for making decisions. No, I fully agree, Slendy. Constraints lead to creativity. They really do. Alright, let's get a little more of this green. The volcano painted a couple of my trees a color that I'm not happy with, like this palm tree. I want that bad boy to be green. There we go. See, that's much better. Green trees. Yeah, parchment is real. You're right, Jackann. Parchment is definitely more for locations, geography, not climates. We're kind of forcing climates on it by using these colors. I do like it, though. I mean, that green is standing out nicely on that volcano up there. I like it. That volcanic island's looking good. Ooh, Skinny, that's a good idea. Some dead trees around the base of the volcano. Let me go grab one. Oh, yeah. No, hold on. This is a good idea. We're going to delete some of these trees up here, right at the edge. And I'm going to bring in some dead trees at the volcano. I think that's a cool look. Just a couple. Just a couple in there. And by a couple, I mean 3, apparently. And I want them to... I'm going to paint them a brown color. With a little bit of that black splashed in. Oh, that was too much. There we go. Okay, y'all. Hey, enjoy your Power Wash Simulator 2 time, Slendy. I did see that just launched. Enjoy it, man. Appreciate you being here. Alright, let's get a couple more trees in here. Just a few. Oh, I don't want them willow, though. I want more of these pine trees. Just a couple in here to make the forest look nice and dense, because it's kind of... We're going for, like, rainforest vibes on this island. Alright, y'all. I'm liking that island. I'm liking that a lot. Maybe a little bit. Maybe just, like, one more tree. Kind of chilling out here to break this space up a bit. A couple more, perhaps. I think that's looking pretty good, though. Yo, how do we like that? Simone, the program is Incarnate. Is an online map maker. Alright, y'all, I think we just need... oh, you know what? I said that we wanted to have, like, a settlement up in here. Hey, Impost, you just got Wriggly Little Hands on Audible? Thank you, my friend. I hope you enjoy it. The audiobook's so good. Such talented narrators that worked on it. I'm absolutely honored to have them making the book. They did such an incredible job bringing it to life. Big shout out to Sound Booth Theater and the narrators who made Wriggly Little Hands possible. They did an incredible job. I hope you enjoy, but please do let me know. Yeah, so I think the last thing we need is just some sort of settlement on this island up here. Some sort of little village. Now, I can't really... we're not using actual settlement icons. We're using the icons instead of, like, the art for villages and whatnot. So maybe just right here on the tip we put something, or maybe in the bay. I don't know. Where do we want this bad boy to go? I feel like right in here would be the place for it, but there's an argument for putting it right down here on the tip as well. Also, I do like how it interplays with Port Sanguis by having it there and then the village here. The bay. I'm seeing both arguments for the bay and for putting it on the tip. I think both are good ideas. I think I'm leaning towards the bay, though. Let's clear some trees out so that this icon's a little more standout in there. And we can kind of put it right here. Get my layering right. Alright, that tree's just problematic. There we go. I like this. Yeah, I like that a lot there. Jack, we're making it on inkcarnate.com. It is an online map maker. Alright, y'all. Last thing on this map. We need a name for the island village that we just put here. Perhaps even a ruin. I think I like the idea of a ruin here. But drop some names in chat that you think fit the vibe of this little village, maybe a ruin, that's on this volcanic, dense tropical island. I'll also take names for the island if you got that. I think both could work. Vulcan? I mean, that makes sense, but perhaps a little bit too literal. Milo, you said, am I Asmon Bronze? We're going to knock the Asmon gold counter up to 63 there. That's like 7 references today. Been a hot day for the references. Welcome in, dude. Sorcha? Talora? Marina Island? Marina Island would imply that there's a marina there, though, right? And I'm not sure there is. I like Sorcha. That's pretty good. Ashfall? Ashfall's perhaps a bit too literal, but it is cool. I'll have variations on Ashfall. I would take that. I still do like kind of Sorcha. Sorcha's kind of, I don't know, it's just sticking in my head. I think that's going to be the winner for the moment, but if you can do better, please drop it in chat. We'll see if we can dethrone Sorcha as the name of this little village in here. Let's get the trees out the way. Come on, tree. There we go. I like Sorcha. It almost has like Scorch vibes. But not quite, you know? Y'all, that might be it. We might be done. Unless we want to get a name on the island. But the problem is, I don't know where we would put the name. I would like the name for an island, but I don't know where we would put it on the map. There's really not a lot of location. Maybe we could do it right up in here on the top left. Jay Juster, this is, or Juster, I'm not sure which. This is Incarnate. You're spot on. And our map, y'all, I'm very happy with this. This map really came together. Thank you for all the help. All right. We are basically done. There's one thing missing. And I hate to say it. But these mountains, I think, do need a name. Because we named the other mountains. We named the Raquel Barrens out here. I feel like these mountains do need a name. So just give me a name for the mountains, and I think we'll leave this island with just Sorcha. Maybe it's Sorcha Island and Sorcha Village. But we need one name for these mountains. Lycanspire is really good, Leisha. That's a strong name for it. I'm gonna put that in for the moment and see if anything can surpass it. I only got a little bit buried in there, right? Just a little bit. Let's see if we can select it. There's so many stamps at this point. There we go. It's going to take a lot of work to get that on top of the mountains. West Spire. Richard, this is Incarnate. That's how we're making it. Wormtail, Mount Crafe, Misty Vale Mountains. Misty Vale Mountains feels a little bit too derivative of the Misty Mountains. Not that it is, but just I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. That would be a little bit suspect, maybe. I just cannot get this text to float above the mountains. It's already at the top layer. It just sometimes the text doesn't play nice with background features. Eyes Yahoo. This is free. Incarnate is free. I'm on the paid version, so this is the pro version of it. But there is a free version that's pretty darn good. Y'all, I did not realize the can of worms I was opening asking people to name these mountains, because I just can't get this name to sit on top of the mountains. Maybe if it was a little bit bigger. Still taking names for it as well. If you got Lycanspire is currently the winner, but I'll take other names if you got them. It's just looking a little bit crowded when I try to get it in here. But I do want them to be named. I feel like the best place is going to be right down here. But when I do that, it just kind of messes with the layering of all the mountains in there. So the text max is technically already in the foreground, but it's just, I don't know, maybe I'm doing it wrong. Let's see. Let's see if we can move it all the way. I'm gonna get into the layer settings over here and see what we can do. Yeah, it's already at the top. Oh, hold on. Maybe not. Where are you at? I know, riveting content here as I dig through a menu that you can't see. Let me please put that on screen, I guess, for you. Not my chat window. This is the layers menu that I'm digging through, trying to find Lycanspire. I'm sure that somebody better at Incarnate than me can manage this better. It's just something I need to work on. Part of the reason that we do this is I am trying to get better at Incarnate. All right, there's my text. We found it in all these 633 objects. So I'm going to try to bring it all the way to the top, right? All the way up here. I don't think it moved it, you know? I think it's still down there. I've already selected manually to move the text to the highest layer, like when I'm in the layer options. It can't go any higher. So I don't really think this is going to do it, what I'm messing with here. Yeah, I'm not sure how to do it, y'all. Oh, let me fix my display capture. I had pulled that off screen a little bit. Move it back more like here. Okay, back to the map. Yeah, anime. Lightning anime. I've kept it organized in the past. It's just so many groups to do it. It would a better map maker would do that. So that's something I got to work on. I'm good at layers in like graphic editors like Inkscape or Photoshop or Illustrator. I got it to work there for a minute just by dragging it. If we do it just right, we can kind of just... There we go. You know, it's still not over the mountains in the way that I want, though. Goblin Spire Mountains, Giant's Fell Mountains, Cataclysm Range, Scar Scale. I still like Lycanspire as the name. Maybe if we just put mountains, that's a lot. That's a long text though, and the font looks a little weird. Could do MTS. But now I'm fine with that. It's just how to get it to work over top of everything, because it is technically on the top layer. Maybe it's just not worth it, you know. I do like Lycanspire Ridge. Impost Sound Booth is narrating just the Wrigley books, so Wrigley Little Hands and the forthcoming sequels. The rest of my books are kind of narrated throughout. I have a couple with Podium, a couple with Audible, etc., etc. But Sound Booth has been my favorite to work with, man. I love them, so I'm hoping to do more with them in the future, aside from just the Wrigley sequels. Maybe if we put a little bit of a curve on this text. I know we're trying to keep place names straight, but for stylistic reasons, we put a little bit of curve on it and then go like this. That kind of works. I can keep these trees beneath it. Yeah, Impost Sound Booth Theater is amazing, right? For audiobooks, they're just the go-to. They do such a good job. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want the text. There we go. All right, how do we like that? I mean, it's not really on the mountains, so I'm not loving it. The issue with moving the mountains down is then it messes with the layering of all these trees in here. And it just gets to be like so much work. I just need to find a place. AlexIncarnate.com. Check it out. I typed it in wrong. Hold on. There it is. There's the name. Yeah, so it's already, I can click on the lines, the 3 lines here to get additional stuff, but it's already at the max layer, or the max height layer. So I feel like we just gotta pick a place for it and roll with it. We've been messing with it for a hot minute. Maybe we just don't name them, you know? I do want them to have a name though. It makes sense. Ooh, that's not a bad idea, Skinny Jeans. Save the map, select all stamps, make them 1 layer, and then make the mountain text a layer above it. Yeah, I can't edit the map in the future, though, if I do that. It was a good thought. The problem with too much text on a map is it blanks out, it blocks out, you know, geography. So, like, there's a really cool little lake in here and a hill. And by having this mountain name there, it's blocking that out in a way that I'm not loving. I want people to see the cool geography we put in here, but also the names. It's always a balancing act. I don't know what to do, y'all. Yeah, Like Inspire's the only text that I'm having an issue with, just because of how layered these mountains are. Everywhere else, it's like, if you go over here, where I did the last mountain name, it's really just overlapping a mountain and a cave and 2 other mountains, so that wasn't too hard to change. But when you have all these trees in here, it gets a little more difficult because I didn't group them all, you know, too well. Ideally, I'd like the name to go like right here. And you know what? It's almost kind of working there. Hold on, let's get this tree down, get this tree down. And a little rotation on the name. Maybe it does work here. Maybe make it 2 lines. Uh-oh, y'all. We might be making this work. Hey, let's go. We're getting there. I think that might kind of have done it. I mean, I know I just messed it up with the mountain, but I realize the mountain is also layered incorrectly here. So let's mess around with that for a hot minute. Come on, where's my text? There it is. All right. I need you on all the way up top. We're going to move this behind it. Then we're going to move this mountain behind the... That was the text. Okay, and now these trees just need to go behind the mountain. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Dracula says, don't move, you got it. I think that's pretty good. I think there's a little bit of weirdness happening in here, but I'm not going to worry about it that much. I think we can drop the curve on the name now. So now it's like all other terrain here. It is named with a straight text. All right, y'all. I'm gonna call it right there. I think we got it. Leisha, you said it's messed up now? What's messed up? Looks pretty good. I think we got it right. Stay hydrated. Thank you for following. Thanks for being here. I'm actually out of water, and it's killing me. So I think we got there, y'all. I think this map's pretty done. Phantom, how did I get all the names? I asked chat for most of them. Chat came up with almost all of them. Here, let me pull my text off screen so we can look at this map for a minute. There we go. See if we can just get this on screen. There we go, guys. Thanks for working on the map with me. I'll lean out of frame here. We didn't name the big river going through the middle, but I'm not too worried about it. That name will come later. I think for now, I think we're pretty good with this. I like this. Thanks for the work, everybody. Thanks for the names, suggestions on terrain, everything. This has been a fun 3-stream map. Great practice. I'm a fan. Thanks for joining me, guys. If you don't know, we do this every Friday, fantasy map making. We do other streams on Monday and Wednesday. Different formats, kind of changes day to day. But thanks for joining and hanging out with this one. Y'all, if you don't know, I'm author Alex Knight. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 a.m. Central Time. Always doing something fantasy book focused, writing, publishing, etc., etc. And when I'm live, if you ever have questions about publishing, writing, etc., please ask away. I'm always happy to answer. Slight point of order, no stream next Wednesday. So Jack and I like the covers idea. I'm just not going to be I'm traveling for a funeral on Wednesday, so I won't be streaming then. Maybe we do covers on Monday. We might do that. We'll definitely be doing Fantasy Map Friday next Friday, and maybe we do a makeup stream. We'll see. But definitely Monday and Friday next week. And I want to do the covers stream at some point where we look at book covers and just kind of, you guys mention covers you like and I'll pull them up and check them out, and we'll talk about them. Should be fun. So think about covers that you like. I think let's go ahead and say we're gonna do that next Monday. I'm gonna lock that in for Monday's stream. I was supposed to run a 5K tomorrow, but there's supposed to be some storms moving in, so they postponed it for a week. So, I don't know, maybe I would really like to do a video game stream. It's been so long since I've done one. And I know I say that every weekend, but I'd really like to. So, tomorrow with the stormy weather, maybe we chill and stream, I don't know, Lord of the Rings Online, Battlefield, Rocket League, something like that. We'll see. We like to do it just once in a while. Percy's, you said, what's the lore for the map before I go? Well, we kind of came up with it on stream, really. So I guess what we have is 3 kingdoms centered around, you got one capital here at Port Sanguis. You got one down here at Anchor Cross, which is kind of like our Venice / Istanbul, Constantinople type city. I really do wish the icon showed more of it, because it's really cool, the layout we've done for it. Maybe we center it more like, here I go messing with stuff again. If we put it down like right here, you could see a bit more of the city. I really like how that looks. It's super cool. Yeah, Aaron, there is a good chance we lose internet in the storms. That's true. Alright, there we go. I think that's centered pretty good. So let's get the text to follow it. Boom. Alright, I'm not supposed to be messing with stuff. Anchor Cross down in the south, and then we got a swamp down here. That's pretty sick. I'm always fond of swamps. And then on the west, we have this whole deserted region around their capital, Solarieth. I'm not sure how we say it. But there we go. That's the map. There's more lore I guess we came up with on stream, but this map deserves a short story at least. I really love this world that we've made here. It's really grown on me. I think I'm going to try to write something in the future. We'll see. I don't think this is going to be the last we see of it. But thanks everybody for being here. Thank you for helping me make it. Thank you for the follows. Jackie Ann petition for a story. Yeah, we'll see. We'll figure it out. But I am out of water, I'm out of coffee, and I need to use the bathroom, and the map is done. So let me go ahead and say a special thanks to Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com for the use of his songs Farm, Manor, Cottages, and Northern Glade, which have provided our background music today. As well, an extra special thank you to community member Raffi, the engineer, who produced our 5th background song entitled Midnight at the Round Table. Raffi made that just for stream, and I am ever grateful. Thank you very much, Raffi. Of course, a shout out to my excellent moderators, Melissa Lee 28, Raffi the Engineer, One Happy Harpy, Leisha T, Aaron Winnick, other name wasn't available, aka Slendy, and Simp1X. Thank you very much, y'all. I appreciate it. And thank you to the chat for being good. You guys bring a good vibe, a good environment. It's awesome. I enjoy having you here. It's a good start to the day for everybody involved. So thank you very much to the moderators and to chat. I couldn't do it without y'all. Lastly, folks, if you've enjoyed the stream, please give me a follow so I can catch you on the next one. Like I said, we'll be back Monday at 7 a.m. Central Time for sure. I'm thinking I might want to do something tomorrow, though. Something video game focused, so stay tuned. We might pop live tomorrow and see what's what. Until then, folks, hope you have a great Friday and a great weekend. Thank you for working on this map with me. I'm so glad to say it's done. What an awesome map. I really love it. I can't wait to write something in this world now. Username, you don't have a username, but you said, am I too late? If you go to my YouTube account, it is linked in my bio. You can watch a whole replay of this stream right now. So if sorry you missed it, but please go check it out there. Until then, folks, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you on Saturday and Monday. Last question, how do I make these maps? I use Incarnate. Just put it in the chat right there. Y'all, thank you for being here. I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.